When I reached the hospital, I didn't feel my legs. Only the sterile brightness, the echo of rubber soles, and the hollow sound of my name on the nurse's lips. "Mr. Hale?" Her voice trembled. "She's in intensive care." Then she leaned close, too close. Her whisper was barely air. "Hide, and trust me. Don't let them see you." I froze. Something in her eyes, fear, urgent and personal, cut deeper than the beeping machines behind her. I slipped into the next room. The smell of disinfectant was sharp enough to burn thought. Through the sliver of the door, I saw them. Two men in suits, not doctors, not family. They weren't here to save anyone. One of them spoke to the nurse, low, controlled. "She's awake yet?" She shook her head. "No, she might not wake up again." The man smiled. It wasn't the smile of someone mourning. And in that moment, my pulse steadied. Not from calm, from recognition. I'd seen that smile before, on my wife's lips. I'd thought the accident was random, a car, a late night, a slick road. But watching those men whisper outside my daughter's room, something inside me began to rearrange itself. Coldly, efficiently. My wife had told me she was visiting her sister that night. She'd come home shaken, mascara-streaked, smelling faintly of perfume I hadn't bought her. I didn't question it. You don't question people you think you know. You bury unease under the illusion of trust. But the nurse's whisper cracked it open. "Hide. Don't let them see you." That wasn't a warning for the hospital. That was a warning about them. When the men left, I slipped out and stood by the glass. My daughter's small frame lay tangled in tubes, motionless except for the rhythmic rise of the machine that breathed for her. I touched the glass, cold. I whispered, "Who hurt you?" Her eyelids didn't move, but the bruises on her wrists answered. Over the next week, I became a shadow with purpose. I smiled when my wife entered the room. I spoke softly, asked nothing. The silence unsettled her. It always does when the guilty wait for noise. While she slept, I went through her phone. Every deleted message still lived in the backups. I read them all. A man named Victor. Conversations timed perfectly with my business trips. Hidden calls at 2 a.m. And then, photos. A car. My daughter's car seat in the background. She wasn't supposed to be in the car that night. My wife had told me she left her at home. But the phone's GPS data said otherwise. I printed the records, stacked them neatly in a plain envelope. Then I sat beside my daughter and told her, quietly, "I believe you were never meant to come home." The monitors hummed in answer. The police report arrived 3 days later. The driver wasn't a hit and run. It was someone following, tailgating, for 10 miles. The car that rammed her belonged to Victor, registered under a shell company my wife owned. I didn't need to ask why. I only needed to see her face when I placed the folder on the table. She looked at it, then at me. "What's this?" My voice was calm, measured. "The night you said you were with your sister?" Her smile cracked. "You're paranoid again." I didn't answer. I just opened the folder. She saw the photos first, then the report, then the texts. Her name linked to his, her signature on the lease, her digital fingerprints on the insurance payout scheduled for next week. The sound she made wasn't a cry. It was smaller, a gasp swallowed by realization. I said nothing. Words would have been mercy. I called the detective I'd met at the hospital, told him everything, sent the documents. Then I poured 2 glasses of wine, one for me, one for her. She didn't touch hers. "You called them?" she whispered. "Yes. You'll ruin me." I smiled faintly. "You already did that." The sirens came minutes later, faint at first, then closer. She backed toward the window, shaking. I walked to the door, paused, and turned once more. "My daughter woke up this morning," I said. "She asked where her mother was. I told her, she's gone." Her lips parted, but the knock on the door silenced her. I opened it without looking back. The nurse saw me in the hallway later, the same one who'd whispered to hide. "She's going to recover," she said softly. "Your daughter's strong." I nodded. Strength isn't born, it's built in silence. That night, I sat by my daughter's bed again. The machines were quieter now. Her small hand rested in mine, warm, alive. I thought of the woman who'd once said she loved me, of the moment she decided love was a currency, of how easily she traded it for control. Outside, I heard the echo of a closing cell door. Metal, final. I looked at my daughter and said, "It's over." But what I meant was, I finally know who I am without her.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.